Today we will discuss a section from A Journey to the West. After the part about Boston, there is a section called the Magical Shambhala. We already covered the first part of the Magical Shambhala. This latter part discusses the specific location of Shambhala. In the second volume of A Journey to the West, we are currently in Boston. After this, we should be heading to Canada and then to France. So during our final stop in Boston, we discussed the exact location of Shambhala. Where is Shambhala? Even in worldly songs, people ask, where is Shambhala? In Buddha's cosmology, the vajra seat in Bodh Gaya is considered the center of our world. To the north of Bodh Gaya resides a place called Li in Tibetan. Outside of this is a snow mountain called Snow Mountain possessing glory. Further north of this place is the realm of Shambhala. In this world today, there are many people searching for Shambhala. There are explorers, scientists, and travelers of all kinds. Among Tibetan scholars, there are also specialized treatises researching this topic. Where is that snow mountain? His Holiness explains it here. To be more specific, the snow mountain possessing glory is located to the north of Bodh Gaya, passing through 9 majestic black mountains. To the north of this snow mountain is located the Fragrant Mountain. Between the Fragrant Mountain and Snow Mountain, possessing glory is Anavatapta Lake. This is Anavatapta Lake. We also mentioned this earlier when studying the wish-fulfilling treasury. It refers to the lake near Mount Kailash today, Lake Manasarovar. The Buddha mentioned this lake in many sutras. The Buddha himself visited this Anavatapta Lake. So looking at modern geography, the Buddha did visit our snowy region of Tibet. This is possible. Some modern historians believe that during the Buddha's time, Tibet was an ocean. There is such a claim, but this is merely a claim found in a few history books. In reality, it is not true. During the Buddha's time, humans already existed there. Moreover, based on artifacts unearthed in Tibet today, some date back tens of thousands of years. They have been found in Amdo, Kham, and Lhasa. The ocean theory is just an isolated textual claim. It's actually quite unreasonable. The Buddha most likely visited Anavatapta Lake. From the Anavatapta Lake flows all rivers that nurture the earth of the entire world. The source of all the world's rivers is Anavatapta Lake. Today, the water source for our entire world is the Tibetan Plateau. Geographers now acknowledge this fact. When I was in middle school, we had a teacher named Mr. Pueng who talked a lot about this. He used to draw maps for us on the blackboard. We never listened properly and made him angry every day. Looking back, that was very wrong of us. To the north of the Fragrant Mountain is situated the kingdom of Shambhala. His Holiness generally places Shambhala north of the Fragrant Mountain. Yes, the 9 black mountains and the Snow Mountain possessing glory are not ordinary mountains. Instead, they are very huge and majestic. Roughly speaking, you can imagine that these mountains are as extraordinary and majestic as the Himalayas that stand as the natural boundary of the Tibetan Plateau and Nepal. The highest peak of the Himalayas, Mount Everest, has an elevation of 8,848 meters. We all learned this in primary school. What is the highest peak in the world? His Holiness didn't attend primary school, but he also knew some geographical facts. There are more than 180 countries around the world, and none of them has such high mountains. Even the tallest mountain in North America, Mount McKinley, at the time they discussed how long this mountain range was. At the time some had explored it, has a height of only 6,190 meters above sea level. So you can have a brief idea of how extraordinary and majestic the 9 black mountains are, just like the Himalayas. They are not ordinary mountains. Within the 9 black mountains there are oceans, rocky mountains, snow mountains, forests, and so on. Since they are not ordinary mountains, except those with miraculous powers and those who have acquired the assistance and blessing of their deities, it is impossible for ordinary people to physically access them. Yes, regarding Shambhala, that is the situation with these mountains. Many people may suspect the so-called Shambhala cannot possibly exist on this planet because no scientist in the world has ever seen it. Next, His Holiness expresses a somewhat dissatisfied tone towards scientists. Of course, regarding some of the things His Holiness said, I'm not exactly sure of the specifics, but with any knowledge, what is known at the time may not perfectly align with later discoveries. Even with our school textbooks, they have to be revised and replaced after a few years. So, with any worldly theory, There will be conflicts between contemporary knowledge and the thoughts of future generations. Some parts will align well. We shouldn't just think, this is unreasonable, that is unreasonable. We shouldn't think that way. When we study any book or field of knowledge, some of it is an explanation for the people of that time, while other parts are truly the results of in-depth research. It is undeniable that scientists are smart and intelligent, but their intelligence cannot compare to the Buddha's wisdom and still needs to be improved and perfected. With his omniscient wisdom, the Buddha confirmed the existence of Shambhala. As a testament, many noble beings in the past have been there. In earlier editions, some names might have been slightly different. Later it was confirmed to be Pandita Chilupa and others. These individuals have been to Shambhala in the past. His Holiness says that science is still on its way to finding truth and has great room for improvement. It has a lot of room to grow. For instance, the US can be said to be a world leader in the development of medical science, but still there are many diseases that remain incurable. Medical experts are working hard searching for effective solutions. Or one more example, even though a scientist can predict that there is going to be a hurricane, even though he knows the wind might come, he has no idea how to stop it. This includes our modern weather forecasts. Sometimes with tsunamis or earthquakes, they can predict parts of it, but not everything. But it would never happen to the Buddha that he only knows the coming of the hurricane while having no method to stop it. So, regarding the Buddha's omniscience, we believe he possessed profound understanding not only of our inner mental world but also of the external physical universe. Moreover, the breadth of the Buddha's wisdom far surpasses that of scientists. A scientist might be an absolute expert in a specific field. He is an absolute expert, but when it comes to comprehensive universal knowledge, they still have limitations. In terms of depth, our primary focus in Buddhism is on the nature of the mind. But a scientist may have never investigated their own mind, and even if they do, they might not truly understand it. So regarding these points made by His Holiness, people today should understand the context. It's not to dismiss what modern scientists have invented, like airplanes and ships. Did the Buddha have those? Indeed, they are not found in the Buddha's Kangyur, but just because they aren't mentioned doesn't mean the knowledge wasn't there. If the Buddha comprehended the profound nature of the mind so perfectly, he could have certainly deduced otherworldly knowledge through reasoning. Just like children need to grow up to become adults, science needs further progress and improvement. Perhaps the science of 30 or 40 years ago is different from today. But nowadays it seems some sciences are becoming increasingly clever at finding ways to destroy humanity. They are developing less and less knowledge that actually benefits humankind. There was also a story about a scientist. I'm not sure where this happened. Maybe it was in Tibet, or I don't really remember it from our trip. His Holiness said a scientist used to declare that a kind of electric light would appear as powerful as the sun and be able to light up all countries throughout the entire world. Many people were eager to witness it, and someone also feverishly told me about this breaking news, but I didn't think it would be practical. Later, as I heard, something went wrong, and such a light never appeared. I don't know where this happened. I have no recollection of it. But that's what His Holiness said at the time, so it was recorded. Unlike this, the Buddha would never say something untruthful and mislead others. Hence, since the Buddha spoke in detail about the kingdom of Shambhala and all the kings of this kingdom, you needn't have any doubt about their existence. From this perspective, we can confidently say that the Buddha confirmed the existence of Shambhala. Regarding Shambhala, there is a book titled A Step Away from Heaven. A Step Away from Heaven. It's a book from the West. I remember reading online once about a man discussing the secrets of Shambhala. He talked about the man who sought the secrets of Shambhala. There was a story shared online. What did it talk about? It mentioned that Hitler wanted to find Shambhala. He specifically sent explorers to Tibet. Coincidentally, at that time in Tibet, there was the great Tertön Deshen Lingpa. The online article claimed it was our Domang Deshen Lingpa, the previous incarnation of Yangthang Rinpoche. They even included his photo. That's what was online at the time. But I don't think it was necessarily him. There were other tertöns in the Golok region at that time. They were opening up a new secret realm, and there are many mysterious stories surrounding that. I believe this matter is also mentioned in the biography of Yangthang Rinpoche. Indeed, for a time there was a lot of focus on Shambhala. Initially it was thought to be near Mount Kailash. Later they discovered a secret path to it from Sikkim, a mystical world. So there are books now specifically discussing Shambhala. It truly is an incredibly beautiful realm. However, generally speaking, in Buddhism, we consider this a mystical world. It's not a place that we ordinary humans can just travel to directly. It relies on possessing miraculous powers. His Holiness mentioned this earlier as well, during the previous stop in America. Therefore, regarding Shambhala, we shouldn't think that it absolutely cannot exist, or that it's just a myth made up by others. We shouldn't think that way. But we also shouldn't think we can just pack our bags and go find it right now. It doesn't work like that. Actually, the foreign explorer I mentioned earlier regarding the book A Step Away from Paradise, which has likely been translated into English in the West, they focus on a figure named Tushuk, I believe. They started searching for it. This process has been documented in various ways, including documentaries. So if you have time in the future, I hope you can explore some of the meanings behind this. Let me see if we should continue. Perhaps we will stop here. What did we cover today? We discussed that the Buddha spoke in detail about the kingdom of Shambhala and all the kings of this kingdom. We will stop here for today.
Bandara Badna Sadar Bandara Badna Sadar Bandara Badna Sadar